So when I was 9, a sitter that watched me sexually abused me. And from him, other people sexually abused me. Usually they're people that I know, right? And that led me to feel guilt and shame from a very young age. And the evil done to me made me want to numb out as I became a rebellious teenager. I started using drugs and hanging out and doing things that did not respect me and my dignity. And that led me to want to work in Hollywood. I thought, oh, if I have a cool job and I'm with cool people, it'll numb the pain. Like I tried to get the alcohol and the drugs to numb the pain. And I get to LA and become very successful as a production coordinator in the film business. And it's a drug environment, so it led me further into like the pit of hell, just like addicted, right? You can't get out of it, so it's drinking and it's drugging and it's fun and it's the atmosphere, it's the environment. And so the horror and the evil that was done to me, I tried to numb out from, and then that sent me to do things that didn't respect me. And I had relationships with people that I shouldn't have had, and hookups. And I got pregnant, and I had an abortion, and that took me under. And I swore that if that ever happened again, I would never kill a life. And I did some really hard drugs and got pregnant again, and the doctors talked me out of it because of the serious drugs that I had taken. So I had to have an abortion, and that sent me to want to end my life. And I cried out to Jesus, and I didn't see a burning bush or anything the next day, but I had hope. And I went and saw a counselor, and she said, you have to stop drinking and to get in touch with your feelings. And I just thought that was a lie, but I was so desperate, I listened to her. And I had this desire to live life differently. And I was diagnosed with major depressive disorder, but I had this corner that turned. And the corner that turned was, as I grew closer in my walk with Christ, I felt this bubbling inside of me, and it scared me. It was like something wanted to growl that was inside of me. And I'd given my life to Christ at 11, so I didn't know what this was, but it really scared me. And I learned through my church that sometimes people that have been sexually abused, or evil's been done to them, or they're really in addiction or pornography or things that aren't good for us, that it opens some kind of spiritual window that we cannot research yet because we don't have enough data on, but something opens and some kind of spiritual entity enters that wants to destroy us through lies, through cutting, burning, hurting ourselves in all different ways. This couple that prayed for me at the church said they often see a lot of people that are addicted or have been sexually abused that experience some kind of demons and that may want to make you growl or move in certain ways. Well, all I had a grid for was The Exorcist, people's heads spinning around, so I was really scared. And this couple is like, no, honey, this is normal. People live with this stuff, we just don't talk about it. And I feel like there's so many of us, if it's 1 in 3 women and 1 in 5 men that have been sexually abused, and we're walking around with this anger and this self-hate and trying to numb the pain through addiction, that we need to start talking about not just mental health counselors that can help, but also there's a spiritual entity to psychology that is our well-being. And these people prayed for me, and it was like this demon of shame. And they prayed for me, and all they did was say, we have no power, only Jesus has the power. They just prayed for me, and it was like this big ball like an orange, just like lifted out of my chest. And I knew the power of Jesus' name. And I left that night after that prayer, and I like felt light, and I felt free, and I felt stunned that something that is so unspoken of can be so life-giving. And that is the hope that I want to share with you.